Welcome to True Crime with Strategic Eyes.
Strategic back again. What's going on, guys? Hope you guys are having a great day. This is my third live for the day. I told you guys I'm on vacation, which means that I am available to make content. It's a staycation, so I'll be focusing on this channel, focusing on giving you guys up-to-date news. Normally, we don't break news on this channel. It's not what we do. We don't have time to do it, so we usually catch it after the fact. But now, because I'm on vacation, I'm going to be on top of the news, and we'll be covering the news of the day. So far, we already talked about Luigi Mangione. And this is the guy who is accused of killing the United Healthcare CEO. And guys, I was just about to set up. I was like, okay, they're going to do the perp walk. And then boom, they did the perp walk right before I went live. So I just queued it up. It's right here. I'm going to fire this bad boy up right here. Actually, let me turn this other light on too. Bam. Sorry. Oh, no. Same remote for both of them. Oh, come on. Come on, my lights are acting up. Whatever. We'll figure the lighting out. Let's get this queued up and let's get this rocking and rolling. I want to see this perp walk with you guys. Perfect. Perfect. All right, we got the light working. All right, let's get this queued up.
Oh, okay. I just got the guy walking in. I'm going to come break down and come inside and see if I can do the press conference. You get a face. Brother, back up.
All right, he's about to come out now. Get those lights going. Look at him. What a wasted life, man. Haha, NYPD out there. Okay. NYPD out there already. They're not playing. They put them on a helicopter. It's like, nah, y'all not driving. We're putting y'all in a helicopter.
Oh, okay. I just got the guy walking in. I'm going to come break down and come inside and see if I can do the press conference. You get a face.
I mean, you look a little smug in the face. What do you guys think? You look a little smug, like no remorse.
Right, get over here.
Let's see if we get a freeze frame on this. They do a little repeat. Boom, freeze frame. Boom. There we go. Look, I mean, what do you guys think? You guys think he looks sad? Does he look remorseful to you, or does he look smug? What do you guys think? You tell me. What do you guys think? He looks righteous, like, yo, I'm fighting a righteous battle against the insurance companies. Or does he look like, oh my God, what did I do? I wasted my life. I went to Ivy League schools. I studied my butt off in school. I went to Ivy League schools. I had a great network engineering job. I was living in Hawaii, one of the most expensive places to live in the country. Living in paradise. I was young, I'm decent looking, I'm buff. The whole world was ahead of me, and I decided to be an anti-hero. He's no hero to me, but that's what people are calling him, the anti-hero. What do you guys think? Is that a face of remorse or a smug face of righteousness? Let me know. This is like the hottest thing that happened in this town in a long time. Like, these cops are going to remember this for the rest of their life. Like, oh my God, we were part of this case. You know, the level of planning that went into this whole endeavor of this guy. I mean, he really did plan. I mean, was it a perfect plan? Of course not. There was a lot of holes that he had in his plan that would have led to him being captured eventually. But the level of planning, he knew when this guy was going to be leaving a hotel. He came there 10 days prior. I'm sure that wasn't the first time he saw the CEO. That wasn't the first time he saw the CEO. I guarantee you, as this case progresses, you're going to see that he saw the CEO multiple times, was tracking the CEO's movements, tracking to see who's around him. Does he have security? Does he go out with assistants? What time does he go out? What time does he come in? He tracked that CEO. How long did the conference last? Because that was a shareholders or a company conference or something to that effect. He 3D printed the gun. He got the fake ID. He got the hostel. He specifically chose that hostel because that was a hostel that didn't require a lot of identification, and he knew it was a very transit place. This person had money. He could have went to the Marriott Hotel if he wanted to. I'm not saying he was rich, but he was a young man who was working. He could have been in a Marriott Hotel on 42nd Street if he wanted to, paying $200-$300 a night. Instead, he chose the hostel. I'm sure he rehearsed this in terms of putting his face mask on with his and the hoodie and all that stuff, and wearing it the majority of the time, even though he messed up at key moments. He had more discipline than the average person who commits a crime. He put a lot of time and effort in this. I believe that the feds need to get involved. And quite frankly, the feds might need to take this case away from New York. Not that New York won't do a good job. New York is notorious for doing excellent jobs on these type of cases, these high-profile cases. Justice absolutely will be served. The family has nothing to worry about. Justice will be served. But I think that the feds need to take this case over, and it needs to be charged as a terrorist charge. I don't believe that what this young man did was simply a murder. This was terrorism. He had a manifesto. He had a political ideology. This was terrorism. But let's keep going. Let me tell you guys a little secret about Alvin Bragg. Don't ask me how I know, okay? I know a lot of people. Alvin Bragg came into the district attorneyship, if I could call it that, the district attorneyship. And he had what was called the Day One memo. And in the Day One memo, he talked about how he was going to look for alternatives to incarceration and all these different crimes and da-da-da-da. And the people in New York said, whoa, 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 whoa. We didn't even know you were going to win the election. Let me put this on mute because it's just going to be beeping in my head all day. See, what happened was that during this particular election for district attorney, this is a Democratic city, that's New York City. And people just vote Democratic down the line. And Alvin Bragg spent more money for this district attorney primary race on a Democratic ticket than any other DA in history. There was tons of George Soros, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist. This is a fact that George Soros was his main primary backer, period. Okay, this is just public information. You could look up the donations and all of that stuff. So when Alvin Bragg won the primary, the Democratic primary, under a very weak Democratic primary contest, they didn't have any real contestants, really qualified people running, and all the money was basically flowing for Alvin Bragg. So by the time it was the general election, he just won because he was a Democrat. So people who voted for him in New York, in Manhattan rather, didn't really know who Alvin Bragg was. They didn't really know who he was. So on his first day as the Manhattan district attorney, after a long list of Democratic but very tough on crime and very conservative when it comes to crime and punishment district attorneys pretty much for the last 75 years, because one DA was the DA for 40 years. It's the longest serving DA in the history of America. Close to 50 years, actually. I think it was Morgenthau. Close to 50 years. Then another guy resigned out of a scandal, a sexual harassment scandal. And then he basically just won, Alvin Bragg. So people didn't really know who he was and what he stood for. So on the first day, he did what was called infamously the Day One memo, where he was talking about how he's going to go soft on crime and all these things. And then New Yorkers said, "Nah, you're not going to do that, because this is not Chicago. This is not what are some of these towns that do? San Francisco. This is not Oakland. This is not Atlanta. We're liberal here in New York, but we're not insane. We're not going to do that." Immediately, he changed his tune. Now, I hear it on good authority from people who work in that sphere that if you really look at the way that Alvin Bragg's district attorney's office charges these cases, they actually do a pretty decent job. They don't really do a lot of that liberal mumbo jumbo where they're not giving people jail time. They're giving people jail time. All right? They're going after bad guys. They're not cutting these crazy deals that you see in Houston, Texas, and Atlanta, Georgia, and all that stuff. You're not really seeing that. Now, is he a good DA? I don't think so. This is my opinion. Is he a good DA? I don't think so. Just my opinion. Is he a nice guy? He is a nice guy. And I know that on personal authority because I know somebody who's very close to me who worked for him for a very long time in a very personal capacity, the type of job that they had. And they have assured me, and this is a loved one of mine, that he is one of the nicest guys you will ever meet in your life. Treated that person with the utmost of respect and all of that. So personally, he's a nice guy. DA, terrible job, right? But the day-to-day operation of the DA's office in Manhattan pretty much runs as it always did, where they go tough on crime for the most part. For the most part. Now, so when we talk about would he adjudicate this case correctly? Absolutely he would. Oh, I'm sorry. That's what threw me off. I'm sorry. So I was like, now I was catching my thought because I got thrown off. Big shout out to Miss Melody with a $20 super chat. Thank you so much, Miss Melody. She said, happy vacation, Strategic. Well, it's a staycation, and we're going to be working hard on this YouTube channel, dropping you guys tons of content. So thank you so much for the well wish on the vacation. But we're going to be working real hard for you guys this vacation. This is my third live for the day. Third live. So will Alvin Bragg prosecute this case correctly? Absolutely he would. And his district attorney's office would seek the maximum punishment and win it if Manhattan adjudicates this. But there's a problem here that not even Alvin Bragg can fix. And the problem is that there's no death penalty in New York State. And the brazen action that this young man did with his wonky ideology, we're going to look at some of his social media. First of all, we looked at his Twitter earlier, and his Twitter had 10,000 followers. His Twitter, I heard, and we're going to figure that out right now has over 168,000 people. We're going to look at that. We're going to look at his YouTube page, too. And if YouTube took down his YouTube page, don't worry. I took pictures of it, and I downloaded the video that he posted on YouTube. So we squared away. We're going to be looking. Then also somebody sent me some really interesting stuff about other websites that he was traversing. Big shout out to everybody who supports the channel by sending me tips. You guys are appreciated. You guys are awesome. Keep sending me tips, ladies and gentlemen. Send me your tips. I love tips. Tips is what makes the show keep moving forward, okay? I can't do it all by myself. Neither can my research crew, which is a very small amount of people who help me out, okay? So send me your tips. But New York does not have a death penalty, ladies and gentlemen. New York does not have a death penalty. You know what we need? That's why the feds need to take this over. The feds need to take this case over, need to exert jurisdiction. Not only is the feds the best option because they have a death penalty and or the Colorado Supermax, but the jurisdiction of this murder occurred in the Southern District. The U.S. Attorney, Southern District. Now, I, on personal authority, have done cases with the U.S. Attorney, Southern District. And I got to tell you, from the interactions that I've had and the cases I've done with the U.S. Attorney, Southern District, when they decided to assist on local cases and took up my cases and prosecuted them in federal court, they are impressive, ladies and gentlemen. The U.S. Attorney, Southern District, whether it's a Republican running it or a Democrat running it, it does not matter. That office is impressive. They will go after this guy and they will get the death penalty for him. And that is what we need because we need a deterrent. Because people, what our health insurance industry is doing to America sucks. People are losing their lives, ladies and gentlemen. That's a fact. I had a health scare this year. It required me to be in the hospital for a number of days. I was scared to death, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. That health scare put me on a journey that resulted in me losing, I think we're at 75 pounds right now. 75 pounds because of that health scare. the healthiest I've ever been. Well, not really. I mean, my weight always went up and down. I could show you pictures of me just 3 years ago, and I was Diesel. I actually put that in for the Patreon. So if you want to see Diesel Strategic, join the Patreon. You get to see a taste of the OnlyFans, the Diesel Strategic OnlyFans, whatever. But in the year prior, in 2023, I just ballooned, man. It just went crazy. It went out of hand. 2023, I ballooned. Face fat. You guys would have seen my old videos. I had to purge a lot of them because YouTube was just destroying my channel. They were constantly blocking me and suspending me because I had violent content on the channel. But if you see some of those videos, you see me like, strategic back again. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was hormonal. I don't know if it was just the food. But in 1 year, I just blew up and I had a massive health scare. And I was in the hospital for a week. A week, ladies and gentlemen. I was in the hospital. And after I was done with that, and I'm on the path of healing, and I get out, I get a letter from my insurance company that tells me that they denied my stay, and they were like $20,000. $20,000, ladies and gentlemen. Like, what? Long story short, it worked itself out, and they do whatever they do in the back end, and they settle. And thank be to God that I didn't have to pay that. But I understand the stress of seeing those numbers and like, wow. And then they send an appeal, and I got another letter saying that appeal was denied, and I guess they did another appeal, and then, okay, all right, I guess we're good now. Now think about if it doesn't work out, and they're like, yeah, you still owe that money. You still owe that money. And that happens to people every single day. But my purpose in talking about these things and saying these things is that we should not blame. I don't think we should blame the insurance companies. And a lot of people are going to disagree with me. The insurance companies are corporations, and their job is to make money. They're on the stock market. Their job is to make returns for their shareholders. I dabble in the stock market. I want the companies that I invest in to give me some money for my gamble. Who we should be mad at is our politicians. People keep saying corporate greed. It's supposed to be greedy. That's what I'm talking about. That's the whole point of a corporation, is to make money and be greedy. Before I go any further, I definitely got to acknowledge somebody who sent me a $5 super chat, Edward Wood. Thank you so much, Edward Wood. Says, love your channel, great insight, keep up the good work, and I'm going to try to, and I appreciate your support, Edward. And Edward also, in addition to sending me a $5 super chat, also signed up as a Strategic Eyes recruit. Thank you for double dipping and showing your dedication to support the channel. You are appreciated, Edward. Corporations are supposed to be greedy. Corporations are supposed to be evil. Corporations are supposed to lack empathy to a certain extent. Nah, I take that back. They're supposed to have morality. Corporations are not supposed to dump toxic radiation into our rivers. But the backstop, the ones we should be mad at, are the politicians. They're the ones that we pay, that we elect and pay to say, bad corporation, don't do that. Here's a regulation to keep you in check. Because we've seen already throughout history, from the beginning of the Industrial Revolution to this moment right now, that if you give corporations an inch, they're going to take a mile. So my point is, this guy assassinated the CEO, and nothing has changed. They're still using the same algorithm, the same AI tool that they use to ruin so many people's lives. They're still using it today at this moment. Guess what? There's a guy who's at his desk right now who is pissed off that Brian Thompson got the CEO job instead of him. And that guy is now like, is it my turn? I hope I get it now so I could get that $3 million bonus and that $14 million in shares and all that good stuff. They're just going to replace Brian Thompson with another guy who's willing to do the exact same thing that Brian Thompson was doing. Nothing will change until we change the system. And changing one insurance company is not changing the system. Attacking this from a political point of view is the way that you affect that change. So that's why I'm so adamantly against what this young man stands for. Because what he did was futile. What he did was just cold-blooded murder, because United Healthcare is not going to change. United Healthcare is not going to change because all they care about is money. Funny thing is, I heard my municipality is now renegotiating healthcare contracts. And United Healthcare is one of those healthcares that's really bidding hard to take over the health insurance for my municipality. And we've all been like, and our unions and all have been fighting like, no, we don't want United Healthcare. They suck. Everybody on the planet knows United Healthcare sucks. Everybody on the planet. But guess what? Nothing's going to change unless we change the legislation that allows these companies to be predatory, that allows these companies to deny people's care, that allows these companies to go out and take from the consumer, but give as little as possible. Shooting a CEO is not going to change it. The only thing that will change it is when our politicians will stand up and start fighting for us. That's the only time things will change. So let's go ahead now. We just saw the walkout. For those of you guys who's just popping in, if you didn't see him before, I'll bring it back for you again. Let's bring it back a little bit more. One more time.
Try, get over here.
Here you go. That's your hero for some of you folks out there. Probably nobody in this crowd, but there's a lot of weird people who are looking at this man like he's a hero. He is not a hero. He's a cold-blooded murderer. All right, so now let's bring it back to me because we got to go check out his social network. And I went ahead and I downloaded his stuff. So if for some reason they've wiped him off of YouTube, then we'll go ahead and we will we'll just get it off the archive, the archive that we made. Give me a second here. Let me just see his YouTube name. I want to see if the YouTube name. And big shout out to Erica B, our moderator who's in the building. I forgot to tell Aki that I'm going live, and I didn't even want to abuse her like that because I'm just going live like a madman. Like I'm going live like crazy, and you know she's got a family to tend to. I appreciate that Erica B is in the building, and she's going to hold it down. And if Aki shows up, she shows up. But this is my third live for the day, ladies and gentlemen. Third live for the day. They took it down. They took down his social media. They took it down. I knew you was going to do that. Oh, no. We still got it here. All right, okay. Here we go. Let me bring this in. That was a close one. All right, this is his YouTube page. This is YouTube page, Luigi Mangione. MSc and BSc in computer science at Penn. Let's hit that up right there, see what he has. Big shout out to A Obsidian, who's now a Strategic Eyes recruit. Thank you for supporting the channel and joining us, joining the family. Right now, he's got 4,000 subs. He didn't have that before. He had like 1,000 subs when I first checked, but people are subscribing to him for whatever reason. This is a repost. Now, this is not his page. This is a repost, guys. I don't want to pay. This probably has, like, they reposted everything, but I want to show you because in all transparency, you see this says December 9th. His original page was January 2024. That's how I know that this was a real page. That is not a real page, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go ahead to my email, and I'm going to get the information, guys. I'm going to get that information for us because I downloaded it, and I took screenshots and everything. That is not the original page. That is a reposted page somebody put up because YouTube deleted his page, and YouTube does that for people who are accused of a crime. YouTube does that. So let me go ahead and download this. I'm downloading it right now, ladies and gentlemen. Just bear with me. And we're just going to take it straight from we're going to get it straight from what I was able to get. Let me get this over here. All right. Give me a second, guys. You know what? Let me do this. Boom, 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 boom. All right. All right. Open and let's do it. Perfect. All right. So this is the original page. It had 10,000 subs when I looked at it. Now, so this is definitely, that other one was brand new. It was just started. Let's keep going. See this? January 20th, 2024. That other one said December 9th. Somebody just reposted that. But this is January 20th, 2024. MSc, BSc in computer science at Penn, 26 years old. You can't fake this. You cannot fake that. That is a YouTube timestamp. So yes, in fact, that's when this man started this YouTube page. This is his official one. Nobody would know to be able to backdate and hack YouTube and pretend like they started this in January 20th to 2024. Negative, K. That's not how that works. Let's go to the next one. That's that one. He only had one video up that was posted 2 hours. Now, when I checked this was like an hour and a half ago or 2 hours ago. He had already been arrested. So I don't know if he had this like on a timer or something, because you could do that on YouTube where you set like a premiere date or something like a premiere date and time. Maybe he did that. I'm not sure. But he was already in custody when he did that. We'll get back to that because that's a book that I saw on his social media that he wanted people to take a look at. He said it was the best book ever. But anyway, we'll get back to that. There's a lot for us to cover. Hopefully we won't be here too long, but it's a lot for us to do. So let me bring this back over here. In fact, let me bring this over here. Bring that back there, and let me play this for you guys. This is the video. If you see this, I'm already under arrest. Oh, my God. He predicted his arrest. The truth. If you see this, I'm already under arrest. There's no sound, no nothing. It's just this, just the countdown. Mind you, this was posted while he was already in custody, ladies and gentlemen. This was posted while he was already in custody. I'm at a loss. I'm trying to figure this out with you guys. What are we looking at? Somebody said, how many sit-ups do you think he does? He's definitely a 150 guy. Definitely. He's ripped. It's at 0. What are we looking at? Soon. December 11th? Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. December 11th. All is scheduled. Be patient. Bye for now. Oh, shoot. Whoa, 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 whoa. I mean, YouTube took down his page, so we won't be able to see for December 11th. All is scheduled. Be patient. Bye for now. December 11th. Hold on here. I got it. December 11th. Soon, December 11th. All is scheduled. Be patient. Bye for now. Wow. These millennials, man. Not millennials. These Gen Zs and Qs and Xs, they are a special breed, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a millennium. We're not built like that. These Gen QZs, whatever they call themselves, XYZs, they are something special, man. They are something special. Wow. I want to go, let me pull up my email real quick because I want to pull up the Substack that was sent to me. Big shout out to everybody who supports the channel and sends me tips. Once again, tips is what make the show go round. You are so appreciated for the time you guys take, come through and show love. So this is the Quora one. Let me go ahead and pull up the other one. So this is my Substack. Let's bring it on over here. Bring you guys back in. I can't even see the chat right now, so I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm looking at every other. Oh, okay. I just switched back over to chat. I see somebody showed me some love. Big shout out to Georgia Dobertine with a super sticker, $10 super sticker. Thank you so much, Georgia. I love names like that, Georgia. Dobertine is a very interesting name. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, sending me a super sticker. Aki's in the building. Thank you for coming through, Aki. I forgot to tell you I was going live, but then I felt bad because I'm overworking you. It's the third live for the day, and I'm not going to lie to you guys. We might end up doing a fourth live. We might end up doing a fourth live tonight. I'm on a roll. I don't care. I want you guys to get all the information as it comes out. So big shout out to Georgia for showing that love, and big shout out for Aki for making it, coming and show that love. Erica B was holding it down for a little bit, and now you guys can hold it down like Voltron. You guys can come together and hold the chat down like Voltron. All right, let's do it. So this right here is a Substack, dude. I'm not really a Substack kind of guy. I think it's like a kind of place where you could like kind of be like your own publisher. Kind of, it's like a blogging kind of thing. And people play subscriptions, etc. Please hit that like button. Thank you, Edward Wood. Appreciate you, Edward Wood. Please listen to Edward Wood and hit that like button. Support the channel. So this Substack, I think, well, let me just read it what it says. So this guy is Gerwinder or Gerwinder. I don't know who this guy is. I don't know what he does. He says, exploring the ways we're fooled in the digital age. He's got 50,000 subscribers, so I would imagine that he is a very successful Substack person. Because my understanding is when you subscribe to these Substacks, they cost money. Let's see. Let's hit subscribe. And we'll come back. Let me see here. He says, there is no shortage of information out there, so what's so special about this blog? There may be no shortage of information, but there's a shortage of information about how to consume information and how to act on it. Without this meta knowledge, all the data in the world is of little use because it will be distorted by your biases, reshaped to fit your existing beliefs, and misapplied to rationalize your basest behaviors. Now, this is a big theme with this shooter. Like, he's constantly trying to find truth and meaning. That's what I'm getting from a lot of the material that I'm reading. It's almost like he's lost and he's trying to find understanding in the world, and he basically doesn't believe the information that he's being fed. And I get that because a lot of us are a little bit on that journey in that we're realizing that a lot of the information that we get from mainstream media is not always true and accurate. And he seems to be like on the extreme end of that thought process, right? So let's keep going. I think it's important for us to understand what this Substack guy is doing, because apparently, if I read it correctly, but we're going to read it again and maybe we'll get clarification, he was a founding member of this Substack. Like, he contributed and he assisted this person, Gerwinder, in this Substack. So that means that they're of the same mind, right? Their ideology is the same. So let's keep going. The information hijacking is already widespread. Instead of using data to grasp the truth, we're increasingly using it to distract ourselves from the truth, and the growing demand for delusion has begun to transform the internet itself from a vast archive of human knowledge into a predatory amusement park that exploits our worst impulses. This paragraph right here, I really do agree with. You know, just because that shooter guy subscribed to this man does not mean that this man is not a good blogger and does not have good ideas. Because I definitely agree with what he's saying so far. The evidence is everywhere in the corrosive tribalism that pervades social media, in the tawdry of clickbait that fills once reputable news outlets, in the conspiracy theories that gestate on message boards, and in the constant micro manipulations by big tech companies to predict, control, and monetize our most primal behaviors. He's on to something. I like what I hear so far. I have seen the causes and the effects. As a former web developer, I understand how tech companies use information to manipulate people online, and having spent years stalking and studying one of the deadliest terrorist groups in the West, I have witnessed firsthand how dangerous delusions spread from mind to mind. Interesting. Bringing these two strands of experiences together, this blog is my attempt to describe the myriad ways in which technology and psychology conspire to fool us and to explore how we can understand the covert assault on our senses. I like what he's saying so far. This is not the shooter, by the way. This is Gerwiz, or whatever the guy's name is. This is a blog that the shooter was a part of. Let's keep going. Just as glass prism unweave light into its constituent colors, so the prism will unweave popular beliefs into their constituent elements, revealing the delusions, biases, and agendas that lie behind today's most alluring narratives, including the ones we tell ourselves. Now, let's see if there's any money here. Okay, it says, I want the majority of my work to be available to everyone without cost. However, I also want to be able to do this full time, and that requires an income. So if you value my work and would like to see more of it, please consider becoming a paid subscriber. If you do, you can expect exclusive content, one question per month about literally anything that I answer as best I can, the ability to offer feedback and suggestions to help shape this blog, more benefits that will become available as the blog grows. Okay, how much is it? Come on, talk to me. How much? I was trying to figure out how much it costs to join this, but like they're not telling. They are not telling how much. All right, well, okay. Fair enough. Okay, so let's go back here. All right. Now, let's read what it says. Oh, shit. Luigi Mangione, the suspected shooter of the United Healthcare CEO, is a founding member of my Substack and someone I've been friendly with for a while. I hope there's been some kind of mix-up because this doesn't seem like him at all. Very interesting. Now, let's click this. Founding member, video call. Now, I can't lie to you. When I first looked at this name, like when you read things really fast, sometimes your brain will tell you what it thinks it says. That's pretty much how we read anyway. Your brain doesn't sound out every word that you read. It just looks at it. If it's familiar, it tells you what it thinks it says, right? When I looked at Gerwinder, however he says his name, I thought it said Grinder. I was like, oh, this guy's got a Grinder profile? Oh, wow. That's interesting. I'm sorry. But it's Gerwinder, whatever. Hey, Gerwinder. So this is from Luigi to me. Hey, Gerwinder. Been a long-time fan of your work. Recently subscribed to Prism as a founder member and saw in the December update that you do subscribe with video calls. Are you still actively scheduling these? If so, how could I schedule one? Now, I think I don't think he's a founding member like he helped start the blog. I think I was mistaken. I think that's just a name that he has for paid members. Like you have different levels and tiers. Like we have, the detective squad and the white shields and the et cetera, the recruits and the patrol level. I think like a tier for his subscribers is a founder member. So I think that's what he subscribed as, a founder member. So apparently he was a subscriber to this blog and he wanted to do a video call. And apparently, according to the vlogger or the blogger, they were friendly and they spoke. Let's keep going. Gerwinder. Don't say stochastic if you can just say random. Don't say Bayesian prior if you could just say assumption. Wow, these are some big old words. Using fancy words doesn't make you more convincing. It only draws attention away from what you're saying to the way you're saying it, making you less convincing. I agree with that. Luigi said, and I'm covering a little bit, but I'm going to read it for you, and I apologize for that. This is why Jordan Peterson always bothers me. Overcomplicate complicates everything he says aloud, wasting everyone's mental bandwidth and having to decipher it. The best teachers are the best communicators, clear, succinct, simple language. I hear you, Luigi. I hope you're very clear and succinct when you're in the Supermax in Colorado. I'm telling you guys, the federal government really needs to take over this investigation. All right, let me bring it back to me because I want to look at some more stuff. And you guys know I don't like doing transitions while you guys are watching. It's the pet peeve of mine. So let's go over to x.com. So we've done his YouTube. We've done Substack. Let's see about X. Oh boy. You know, we talked about this. Let me just bring you guys in on. I'm not trying to sidetrack, but this just popped up on the feed. Jay-Z. We covered this in the members only. Jay-Z. So I went down a rabbit hole with the whole Jay-Z and Diddy thing going on. Never thought ever this man could be a predator. But what do I know? Crazy things that I found out about. All right, well, Miss Factor, we'll be checking that out later. We'll check that out later, but we doing something right now. We're talking about the CEO killer. All right, let me bring that back to me. And then we'll go ahead and we'll search this up and try and find this guy's page. We had it earlier. We had him earlier. I heard he's like up to hundreds of thousands. Let's see if that's true. Let's see if that we had his page earlier. Shame on me for not saving it. Shame on me for not saving it. Ooh, boy, shame on me for not saving it. We had his page earlier. Let's go ahead and do a Google search for it. Let's see what we got here. I still say Twitter. I still say Twitter. I don't care. All right. Let's see here. It's definitely not this guy. If anybody has the link for Luigi, please email it to me and let me know you emailed it to me. strategiceyes@gmail.com. You got the link for Luigi. Let me know. We're trying to find it right now. I know if I go to the Daily Mail, they'll probably have it. The Daily Mail is so good, especially with their links. Those do an excellent job, better than any other publication in showing you their sources. Even better than a Post. And the Post love to post links and stuff like that, but they do a much better job. Okay. All right, so here's a Facebook post that I just found. This is interesting. This is Pen Crush's post. Luigi Mangione, hot damn, are you single? You make us engineers have hope. And here are all these ladies that whoa. Oh no, people are commenting now. They're commenting now. They're like, yeah, you should check out Charlie Manson. Okay, so they suspended the account. Yeah, they suspended it. That sucks. I should have screenshotted it. Thank you. Aki showed the love. They suspended his account. That's why I couldn't find it. Why did they do that for? Come on, man. This is like, come on, Elon. What are we doing here? So Luigi Mangione, this is like crushes that, people showing love to him, saying that they were attracted to him, all that. So you have some folks, Luca, okay, whatever. Luca thumbs up this guy. Who's this tiger person? They thumbs. Thumbs up too. Okay. And then, of course, you had everybody else trolling it. Like, I think you may have dodged a bullet on this one. And Tom Diaz says, you should check out Charlie Manson. This person's laughing, and this person, Levi, let's see his face, says, free bro. Okay, got you. The knuckleheads are out there. All right, let's bring it back to me. Aki let us know that that they did, in fact, suspend his profile. I got an article I want to read for you guys. This one is it's good. It's important. Bring this to you guys' attention. Oh, somebody just sent me some real cool stuff. Hi, Detective Strategic. You probably already saw these, but just in case, they're posting his mugshot and a fake ID from New Jersey. Also, his Instagram was scrubbed since about 3 p.m. Thank you so much, man. Listen, like I tell you guys, don't assume that I have something. This is big. This is huge. I appreciate you. I'm downloading it. I'm reading an email right now, guys. I'm downloading from the email right now, and I'm gonna review it. Thank you so much. Says big New York City fan. Thanks for all you do. Thank you so much. I'm not gonna read the person's name out, of course, but this is real time while we're doing this show. A supporter. Nobody's a fan of my show because I'm not a celebrity. I'm just a dude with a mic. A supporter of the show hit me up and just gave us some real interesting stuff that we can actually use for important content on the show. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much. We'll go ahead and bring this out for you guys. Once again, if you got information, bring it to me. Email me, strategiceyes@gmail.com. Let me go ahead and get the pictures that was just sent to me by this supporter so that you guys can now see it. Really good stuff, actually, he sent me. Bring it up here for you fine people. All right, let's bring it up. All right, so this is a fake New Jersey ID that he made up. Do they have does New Jersey say auto driver license? I don't know. His name is Mark Rosario. Okay. And here, you could buy these things all over Queens, New York. I mean, I don't know where he bought them, but you could buy birth certificates, you can buy social security cards, you could buy passports, you could buy driver's license, expertly done fake IDs, and like in Queens, New York, and Flushing, New York, because that's where I'm sorry to say it, but that's where they have a very large migrant population, and they sell it to you on the streets. They literally sell it to you on the streets. I had some business out there, and I'm walking down the street, and people are like, yo, want a fake ID? Huh? Social security card? Da-da-da-da. I'm like, huh? Like, why did you ask me that? Like, do I look like I need one? Like, get the hell out of here. You know what I mean? You know? Like, what are you doing? But yeah, they tried to proposition Strategic to sell me fake birth certificates and stuff like that. Anyway, let's bring the next one up. This is his booking photo. Bro, your life is over. Your life is over, my friend. Over. Breaking news, PA police released mugshot of Luigi Mangione, Gilman grad suspected of killing healthcare CEO. Wow. To go from this valedictorian with a tacky tie young man to this. A killer. 26-year-old killer. This to this, living the dream, eating McDonald's and still maintaining a 12-pack, peak physical condition, straight teeth because his parents cared about him and gave him braces, gave him an Ivy League education, did everything they could to support and rear a productive citizen of tomorrow. That's what mommy and daddy did to this. A murderer. A murderer. I bet his parents thought we did it. I bet last week his parents was like, wow, we did it, man. We raised a great citizen. And then he just went and dishonored his family. And like Aki said, he turned into Assassin's Creed, the video game. He's playing too much of a video game. Shame on you, man. You dishonored your family. You dishonored America. You dishonored yourself. Your family, our society invested a lot into you. And this is how you repay us. You throw your life away. If I liked Charlemagne the God, I would say give him Donkey of the Day, but I don't like him, so I'm not going to use his moniker. But he's certainly the Donkey of the Day. He's the Donkey of the Day. Unbelievable. Anyway, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. Man, opened up a lot of those. Let's keep going. Jen Watson, a 41-year-old mother in Federal Way, Washington, has worked for years with her doctor to find the right medications to deal with her multiple chronic illnesses, which include epilepsy and fibromyalgia. It's a very terrible disease. Big shout out to A-Lady. Haven't seen her in a while. Love you, A-Lady. A-Lady was one of the first people I ever had on a show that I did an interview with. A-Lady says, hi, yet so many Americans are calling him a hero. I have no idea why people are calling a murdering douchebag a hero, A-Lady, but we have seen Stranger in these United States of America. We have seen Stranger in these United States of America. Let's keep going. Her doctor had found some medications that could reduce Watson's nerve pain, but Watson says her United Healthcare Medicaid plan refused to cover the drugs. And because of her pain, it has been hard for Watson to find work. I've been struggling to find work in part because I can't stand for more than 15 minutes and end up in serious pain very quickly because my symptoms aren't well managed, Watson said. The killing last week of powerful health insurance executive has ignited an outpouring of anger from Americans struggling to receive pay for medical care. The man suspected of killing Brian Thompson, the chief executive of United Healthcare, in a brazen shooting outside a Manhattan Hotel last week has been arrested, New York City officials said on Monday. It does seem that he has some ill will toward corporate America. New York Police Department Chief Joseph Kenney said of the suspect. I'm sorry. It's hard for me to see. It's kind of far away from me. The attack called fresh attention to deepening frustration over health coverage. Recent data shows that patients are now even more likely to have their claims denied, pay more for premiums and medical visits, and face unexpected costs for care they thought was covered by their health plan. Rising costs are attributed in part to consideration of doctors' practices, hospitals, and insurers. Consolidation, I'm sorry. United Healthcare, part of United Health Group, is the largest manager of health benefits, followed by Cigna and CVS Health. It's a very shocking event, but it's also an opportunity for people to vent about issues that have been of great concern for many people, said Tanir Oxman, a professor at Marymount Manhattan College's Communications Department in New York. Americans pay more for health care than any other country, and over the past 5 years, spending on insurance premiums, out-of-pocket payments, and pharmaceuticals. I'm sorry. I'm getting tired of fucking reading. I'm not going to lie to you. My eyes are like strained and killing me. I've been reading all day. It's my third live. It is what it is. I'll finish the sentence and then you guys figure it out. And I'll post a link inside of the chat and you guys could go read it for yourself a little bit later. Pharmaceuticals and hospital services have increased, government data shows. So basically this thing is saying that, they're denying people's claims and people are upset about it. But once again, it doesn't make sense to glorify the murder of one guy when nothing is going to change. And we spoke about this. I'm not going to go back into it. I did a whole rant on it already. But nothing is going to change until we actually confront what the problem is. The problem is that we don't have the regulations in place that protect consumers against the wrath of the greed that exists in corporate America and these insurance companies specifically. It is what it is. We need our politicians to stand up for us. Obsidian says, it's okay, Strategic. Just quit reading. We know you're illiterate. just quit reading, okay? You guys, we do a lot of reading on the show, and Strategic reads really well. But today, these words are so small and there's so many of them. I can't do it. I'm getting tired. Let me bring it back to me, guys. Let me bring it back to me because I want to play one more thing for you guys and we'll get out of here. One more thing for you guys and then we'll get out of here. This is a big day. Huge day. Hold on here. I just saw something. All right. Big day. Because we had the Daniel Penny verdict. You can go on the member section. If you didn't catch that live that we did earlier, it's now for the members. You go to the members section. I'll actually upload that later for the Patreon as well. But if you go to the members section or the Patreon, sign up to the members or the Patreon, you will get to see the live that we did earlier on Daniel Penny, the breaking news live we did earlier on Daniel Penny. Covered the press conferences, gave you guys my personal opinion about the whole thing. Go check it out, become a member, or join the Patreon. It will be up for the Patreon a little bit later on tonight, but it is currently active and available to all tiers of memberships for the Patreon, for the membership, excuse me. So go ahead, just become a member. If you 99 cents, $3.99, $4.99, whatever you want to do, you'll be able to see that video. It's available for all membership levels. Make sure you become a member. Check that out. Go ahead. And of course, for all my Patreon members, you will be able to see it later.
As the conversation continues about this case, let's be mindful not to dehumanize him and make him just an avatar of a system that is disliked by many.
All right, we're going to bring this here. I don't know what's going on. Their quality is crazy. Not me. This is Fox 5. Looking crazy like that back there. Let's see here. Definitely want. All right. I guess that's the most they'll give me.
Yeah. Check 1, 2.
So
No?
the pixelization is not the Strategic Eyes show. This is their feed. This is Fox 5's feed, not us. All right? It's getting a little bit better, but it's not our feed that looks like that. Big shout out to Felicia Todd Yuso with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and showing that love. $5 super sticker, rather. Not a super chat, but a super sticker. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Deputy Chief Derek Swope of the Altoona Police Department. Today we're going to go through an incident that occurred in the city of Altoona. This morning at approximately 9:14 a.m., Altoona police officers received a call of a suspicious male at a local restaurant. It was reported that the male matched the description of the United Healthcare murder in New York City. When officers arrived, they made contact with the male who had a face mask on. That male was asked to remove his face mask, and officers immediately recognized him as a suspect in the New York City shooting in recent days. That male was asked for a form of identification. He then provided a fake identification card out of New Jersey. After a brief investigation, it was determined that the ID provided was in fact a fake ID, and he was subsequently arrested for a forgery charge. Once he was taken into custody for that forgery charge, he was transported to the Altoona Police Department. Once at the Altoona Police Department, that male was searched instant to arrest. It was discovered that he had a United States passport that identified him as, Luigi Mangione. From there, continued search of his property. A firearm was located, and a suppressor was also located. There were also other items of evidentiary value that were located that would assist in this investigation. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Governor Shapiro for some words.
Thank you, Deputy Chief Swope. And let me acknowledge and thank the law enforcement who I'm joined with today, beginning with Lieutenant Colonel Bivens of the Pennsylvania State Police. I want to thank Senior Special Supervisory Agent Szabo from the FBI, and acknowledge NYPD Commissioner Daughtry and the women and men of the NYPD who join us here today. District Attorney Weeks, who you will hear from shortly. And I just concluded a briefing with Mayor Adams and Commissioner Tisch from New York. I want to begin by thanking our fellow Pennsylvania resident who acted as a hero today. Pennsylvania resident saw something early this morning at McDonald's and said something to our local police. And our local police here in Altoona acted swiftly. I want to say a special thanks to Officer Tyler Fry of the Altoona Police Department. Officer Fry is about 6 months into his time serving his fellow people here in Pennsylvania, and he acted swiftly, he acted with smarts, and he acted with calm. You know, safety often turns on the strength of the relationship between the community and law enforcement. We have that strong relationship here in Altoona, and it was proven here today. I want to ask all of our fellow Pennsylvanians to demonstrate the same type of thoughtfulness and courage and smarts as the individual at McDonald's did this morning, and help law enforcement here in Pennsylvania as we continue with our investigation. You'll see photos of the suspect who is here. And you should know that this suspect traveled between Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, making stops in between, obviously here in Altoona. I want to ask all of our fellow Pennsylvanians to help us with any tips that they might have by contacting us at 800-4PA-TIPS. Again, that number is 800-4PA-TIPS. Mm-hmm. The suspect was just arraigned here in the courthouse, and presumably New York will file charges very, very soon.
He probably didn't talk.
That process will continue to play out, and justice will be delivered in this case. This case is hinged on attention. In fact, the attention in this case and the killing of Brian Thompson was helpful, no doubt, in allowing us to capture this killer in a individual at McDonald's this morning, and then having that individual contact police. But some attention in this case, especially online, has been deeply disturbing.
I agree.
As some have looked to celebrate instead of condemning this killer.
I agree 1,000%.
Brian Thompson was a father to two.
Yes, he was.
He was a husband, and he was a friend to many.
There you go.
And yes, he was the CEO of a health insurance company.
Still a
in
human
America,
being.
We do not kill people in cold blood
Yes.
to resolve policy differences or express a viewpoint.
What has Strategic been telling you guys this whole time? That this is a policy issue, right? That you should be upset with your politicians. You shouldn't be trying to target them, but I'm just saying you should bring your redress to your politicians. That's what Strategic has been saying this whole time. Now look at this governor, I think it's a governor, giving his speech, and he says the exact same thing I've been saying all day. I think his speechwriter was probably watching the show because we spoke about this earlier. Maybe not. It's just common sense. Like, killing a CEO is not going to do anything. It's not going to change the policy of the insurance company. All it's going to do is make them pay the next CEO more money because they're going to say he needs hazard pay because, oh, they're trying to kill us out here, so I want even more money. So instead of the $5 million they were paying Brian Thompson, the next CEO is going to want $10 million and $1 million a year for private security. That's the only thing that's going to change. That is it. Nothing more, Nothing less. And guess what? To pay that new CEO $5 million extra plus an extra $1 million for security, they're just going to raise all our premiums that much more to cover that extra expense. That's how corporations work. That's why you go after the politicians and you force them to do right by us. You don't go after a CEO, a cog in the wheel. A CEO is just a cog in the wheel. They are the spokesperson of the company, absolutely. They are the face of the company, but they're just a cog in the wheel. What happens when the share price goes down? You get booted because you aren't the company. You are just a cog in the wheel. What happened when the share prices of Apple went down? They booted Steve Jobs. They booted Steve Jobs. They fired him. Then when the stock price went down again, then they hired him back. And he was the person who started the company, him and Wozniak. He was the starter of the company, and his own company that he started out of his freaking garage fired him. That shows you how much CEOs are worth. It is the policy that makes change, not pulling a bullet inside of a CEO. Let's keep going.
I understand people have real frustration with our healthcare system, and I have worked to address that throughout my career. But I have no tolerance, nor should anyone, for one man using an illegal ghost gun to murder someone because he thinks his opinion matters most.
That's right.
In a civil society, we are all less safe when ideologues engage in vigilante justice. In some dark corners, this killer is being hailed as a hero. Hear me on this. He is no hero. The real hero in this story is the person who called 911 at McDonald's this morning. The real heroes every day in our society are the women and men who put on uniforms like these and go out in our communities to keep us safe. This killer was not a hero. He should not be hailed. Mr. Thompson, I understand, was laid to rest earlier today in Minnesota in a private setting. As the conversation continues about this case, let's be mindful not to dehumanize him and make him just an avatar of a system that is disliked by many. He was a father, he was a husband, and he did not deserve to die like this on a sidewalk in New York City. I again want to thank all law enforcement who's present here this evening. Law enforcement works best when it works together. In this case, you have the New York Police Department working together with the Altoona Police Department, working together with our Pennsylvania State Police and our partners at the federal level as well. Everyone came together to solve this case and keep the public safe. I again want to ask my fellow Pennsylvanians, if you have any information regarding this suspect or his travels throughout Pennsylvania, please share those tips with us immediately. And with that, I want to thank District Attorney Weeks for his important work today and invite him to the microphone to say a few words.
All right, to be honest with you, I get some people saying they wonder if this guy even had health insurance. He was a tech bro. He probably had the best health insurance out there because that's all they do with these tech bros. They give them the best packages because that's how you recruit talent. So he was a tech bro. He was a network engineer. This guy was getting paid six figures. He probably had a Starbucks machine, a free massage at his job. They got the masseuses. They got those beanbag chairs that you could sit on. He probably only had to work one day out the month inside the office. The rest of it was remote. I'm pretty sure this guy had great insurance. I'm pretty sure what this guy was fighting for wasn't even his reality. Pretty sure about it. If I'm wrong, then I will correct myself. I'm just guessing. It's not like I have evidence and I'm speaking like, I got evidence that he had good insurance. I don't have no evidence of it. I'm just assuming because I know a lot of these tech bros. I've met a lot of these folks. These guys have great insurance, great packages, healthcare packages, great perks, the whole nine, because that is how these companies are able to recruit this talent in this very tight talent pool. Once you get to know a tech bro, guys, and a tech a tech Jill for the females. Tech bros, tech Cassandras. You find out just by talking to them, all of them work for all these same companies. Ask them, like, what companies have you worked for in the last 10 years? You hear I went for Google, worked for Microsoft, worked for Amazon, then I went back to Google, then I worked for FedEx, then I worked for they all work for these, because FedEx is a massive tech company on the low. The infrastructure of tracking the packages and all that is a lot of network stuff. Like these massive companies, even if they aren't tech companies that we think of like internet companies, Internet of Things companies, massive corporations have massive tech infrastructure. Want to know what a massive tech company is? Your cable company that provides you with internet. Data centers. Data centers. How do you think you get on the internet? Your cable company and your satellite company is an internet company, is a tech company. So you talk to these folks and they all work at multiple different companies because there's a small pool of them. That's why they fight so hard to get those N1 visas so they could bring in people from China and India and Russia, where the culture there is, don't be a doctor and a lawyer, be a tech person. We don't have that culture here in America. The culture in India and Russia and China is you better go into tech because that's the future. So you got tons of network engineers and software developers in China, in India, in Russia that we need those people to come here and work. The problem is some of them, especially ones from China, they'll come here and then they'll steal our stuff and bring it back up to China. They'll steal our intellectual property. They'll come here, work for a couple of years, learn everything they can use, learn about how our infrastructure is and how our businesses are run, and then they'll go and they'll either start their own businesses in China and become multimillionaires, or they will sell that information to the Chinese government. Whatever. That's a different conversation. The bottom line is, I'm pretty sure this guy had stellar healthcare insurance. I'm pretty sure what he was fighting for and what he decided to end somebody's life for wasn't even an issue that he had to deal with. Now, that doesn't mean that you can only fight for things that you're suffering from and that uniquely affects you. That's not true. If that was the case, I would not be here talking to you. There's a whole lot of white people that were fighting for my rights as a black person to be equal. Don't get that twisted 1 second. The fight for equality was a multicultural endeavor, and I appreciate that, and my ancestors appreciate that. But he was fighting for something that had nothing to do with him because he probably had amazing insurance. Let's keep going.
Thank you, Governor Shapiro. Good evening, everyone. I would echo the governor's sentiments. Law enforcement does work at its best when they work together. I'd also like to thank District Attorney Seidel. He and his staff came down from the Manhattan District Attorney's office today in record time.
All these guys like from Pennsylvania look like they're high. Like the governor looked like he just smoked a spliff. This district attorney guy looks like he just got off the bong. They all look like, yeah, baby, we caught this guy. Appreciate everyone. Well, we appreciate those New York guys coming all the way out here, for this, this tech bro dude. Yeah. We appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah. I'm telling you, look.
To assist us at the Altoona Police Department. And as the governor stated, the state police, the Altoona Police Department, the FBI, the New York City Police Department, Logan Township Police Department, the Blair County Sheriff's Department, and other agencies all worked together today to do what needed to be done to seek justice. I often brag about how the community in Blair County isn't afraid to say something, to report a crime, to contact local law enforcement. And I've often touted how they've made their community, whether it be Altoona or somewhere else, a safer place to live. And today I submit that a resident from Altoona and the Altoona Police Department helped make New York City a safer place to live and helped kickstart the process to seek justice for a senseless killing. So again, I'd like to thank everybody, and it's my honor to introduce Deputy Commissioner Daugherty at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. DA. On behalf of the New York City Mayor Eric Adams, my boss, Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch, wants to extend once again their appreciation to the Altoona Police Department, to your leadership team, federals, state, local authorities, and especially to the customer at the McDonald's that seen something, says something, to the McDonald's employee that called 911 and reported this individual inside of their restaurant. That called 911 and reported this individual inside of their restaurant.
Fox is killing me. They keep changing the cameras. It was like monotone in just this air right here, and then it just went out of nowhere and turned into stereo, and it's like, oh my God, what's going on here? Like, come on, Fox, get it together.
The men and women behind me, detectives. Some of these detectives that are standing behind me haven't been home since Tuesday when this incident happened. They've been working this case tirelessly around the clock. And when they got that phone call, immediately they jumped in their car, the police car, and raced down here to go see if this was the individual they were looking for. That's dedication.
When you got those big cases, you don't go home, guys. You got those big cases, you don't go home. What Deputy Commissioner Doherty is saying is 100% true. These guys have not gone home. These guys have not gone home. And, you know, really, these guys right here, this is a sergeant. These are the guys that do the investigations. Nobody else. Not him, not him. These are the guys that do the investigations. These are the guys who's up 24 hours, sleeping in their chairs, fielding all of the different tips and making them make sense until they get that final word that that man was found in a McDonald's, and now they need to get out there and try and interrogate him. They should be in the very front. Big shout out to Altoona and all these folks who helped, but all Altoona did was, hey, I think the guy that New York is looking for is sitting in the chair, and then that cop said, hey, what's your name, buddy? All right, put your hands behind your back. Not trying to diminish what that cop did, because it could have went ugly. The dude could have went in his bag, tried to pull out a gun, and now they ended up in a shooting. But all he did was apprehend him. I've apprehended 1,000 people in my career. The hard work, watching hundreds or even thousands of hours of videos and all that good stuff was done by these two detectives behind this commissioner, this detective right here and this detective right here. We got to make sure that we give them the proper respect and love for the hard work that they did. And yes, everybody did their part, but these guys are the real heroes. Let's keep going.
Their commitment to bringing this individual to justice is just standing behind. And on behalf of the mayor and the police commissioner, they extend their thanks and appreciation to you as well. Here's a message to the criminal element that they want to commit a crime in New York City and cross state lines, county lines. The message is very clear. Police Commissioner Tish's police department will find you and bring you to justice. Just look behind you. Thank you.
I think with that, we'll be happy to try and take a few questions.
Governor, question, I guess maybe for the local law enforcement about the arrest specifically today. I don't know who that would be. But, I guess I'm curious if we could hear a little bit more about the dynamics, if you could step to the podium, sir. We could hear a little bit more about the dynamics inside that McDonald's. I know there was some detail in the affidavit about what happened when the individual was asked if he'd been to New York. Could you speak a little bit to his demeanor and how that played out?
Sure. So it was a peaceful arrest, the first and foremost. The seconds of the first contact, he had asked the suspect if he had been in New York City recently. So the first contact, he had asked the suspect if he had been in New York City recently. And that really invoked a physical reaction from the suspect. He became visibly nervous, kind of shaking at that question, and he didn't really answer it directly. So that statement alone really said a lot, and the suspect didn't have to say a lot after that question to show that he was very nervous at that point.
Was that the officer that the governor mentioned who's new on the job, who was involved in not?
Yes, so Officer Fry's here to my left. Officer Fry, can step this way a little bit. And then his partner that he was with, Officer Joe Datwiler.
Officer,
so that's the guy.
could you maybe identify yourself and maybe describe that whole interaction and what played out? Spell your name.
Yeah, Joel Fry, Tylerfry.
The rookie, baby.
So whenever we got on scene there.
Look at the rookie.
We were
So
able to
fresh.
Pretty much find where he was at in the restaurant. And as soon as he pulled, he was wearing a blue medical mask. As soon as we pulled that down, or we asked him to pull it down, me and my partner and I recognized him immediately, just from what we saw in the media, the photos, videos. We just didn't even think twice about it. We knew that was our guy, but he was very cooperative with us. Didn't really give us too many issues. Once we found out his identity, we took it from there.
How does it feel with 6 months on the job as a law enforcement officer to be part of, to make this arrest?
I can't say I was expecting it by any means, but it feels good to get a guy like that off the street, especially starting my career this way. It feels great.
So upon his arrest, has he made any statements since his arrest? Has he asked for a lawyer yet?
To my knowledge, he hasn't made any statements.
You guys
How
are
long is he
saying,
staying in Altoona, and where is he staying, and then was the gun on himself, or was it in another car somewhere?
We are still investigating how long he's been in Altoona. There's still a lot of follow-up to do on this case. Again, the men and women behind me are assisting with that.
Can you tell
we're
us?
still looking into it.
I'm going to ask Lieutenant Colonel Bivens of the Pennsylvania State Police to address the question you just raised.
So there are a lot of things that need to be followed up yet in this investigation. Certainly, there were a number of items, and we've begun to do an analysis of some of those. There were written documents. There are electronic devices that are in the process of being downloaded. Search warrants are obtained. And so over the next hours and days, those efforts will continue, and we're going to take a closer look at all of the information that we can glean from that regarding his activities up until and during the time of the homicide, his flight from New York, and we know that he has been in Pennsylvania, excuse me, for several days. And so part of that investigation will also focus on trying to retrace his steps.
So he took a flight.
We've already identified businesses, for example, that he frequented in this area and activities that he engaged in. That led us to more evidence. And so all of that is becoming kind of a mountain of evidence that has to be analyzed and looked at. I'm confident we'll have a much better idea of his activities over the past number of days in New York and in Pennsylvania. Additionally, we're also trying to determine that we don't have another actor or an accomplice out there. So this information will all be used to help us prove or disprove whether that exists and whether there were any other intended targets. So a lot of questions that are out there that are unanswered yet, but we have a lot of information that we can examine that hopefully will give us some of those pieces of data that we need. You asked, or someone asked about the interview. He was initially cooperative. He is not now. And so he has been arraigned and transported and will be securely housed pending the filing of additional charges in New York.
Against the defendant. He'll be brought before a common pleas judge shortly thereafter, when the defendant will be presented with the option to waive his extradition or to contest his extradition. If he waives his extradition, we of course will make him available to the NYPD and the Manhattan.
All right, this is
Attorney's
pretty
Office as
standard
soon as,
stuff,
you know,
guys. All right, we gotta get out of here. It's already been like an hour and 24 minutes, and we've been doing this. This is my third live for the day, guys. Yeah, they got the guy. They're gonna be extraditing him at some point. I'll see you guys on the next one. Please make sure that you hit that like, subscribe button. Make sure that you become a member of the Strategic Eyes Show. Make sure that you become a member of the Strategic Eyes Show. Also, we have the Patreon. Become a member of the Patreon too. I appreciate you guys. I see you guys on the next one. Maybe I might do another live. I don't know. Yes, no, maybe. Who knows? Might do another live. So make sure all your notifications are set to all so that if I do a live, you will be notified and you could jump in and see what the hell we're talking about. See you guys on the next one. Strategic is out of here. Peace.